What looks at first like a keep fit class is in fact Britain's leading far-right force, training in plain sight. You're about to see many months condensed into minutes. Since the summer riots, we've been watching the group's growth and hearing its descent towards violent, racist rhetoric.
Well, I don't think that people do I don't like their culture. I don't know where they pay themselves to their ass. It's not their skin colour, it's them.
As the seasons changed, so did the language.
Down, guys. White power.
So did their intentions.
Got about a ground's worth of throwing some axes on the way, and I've got a bunch of bows as well.
More than 100 hours of undercover footage helped to tell the story of a group preparing for violence.
It's very clear the racism, the white supremacy, the anti-Semitism is severe. These are people preparing to commit acts of violence.
Well, that's where you come from, you. Can you tell me about Active Club England?
We're about to expose and confront one of the members as we go undercover inside Britain's fascist fight club. Mid-October, and ITV News is undercover, heading in for its first event.
Right. See you guys.
Our first encounter with other members, then a walk to the nearby park, the precise location shared only at the last minute.
Turn our phones off, guys. Let's go, 40.
The training is intense, the members are guarded, secretive, but in plain sight. A photographer is here to take propaganda pictures during one of 8 meetings that we'll attend at this spot. Passers-by unaware that nearby, a group they've probably never heard of is attempting to build a far-right militia. Although their views are clear,
I am being racist today.
They'll develop over the coming months. And for now, they're discussing restrictions placed on their messaging groups after the summer riots.
Mate, getting our Telegram channel banned was so annoying.
But you're going to encounter these things because, you know, we are the target or whatever.
Training is over. They're close to the iconic headquarters of the Secret Intelligence Service.
You've got MI6 over there, actually, which is fab. MI6 building, yeah. And you took us to the
They end the session by performing a Nazi salute.
Oh, how cool would it be if they got us with the Nazi salute that we've done, yeah? The Roman salute, rather. And with the MI6 building in the background.
Then off to lunch to debrief. It's in cafes and pubs after training where ideology is spread.
But go along, have a little look, see if you want some foreign slop.
I'm vegetarian.
Ah, yeah, okay. Like Uncle Addy.
Oh?
Like Adolf.
The idolization of Adolf Hitler is one of the group's hallmarks. In this post, they celebrated his birthday with a swastika cake. In their private group on Telegram, the rules are reiterated. Asked if Turks are permitted to join, an organizer says, "Turks are non-white, we would not accept them."
Incitement to violence. So that it's very clear the racism, the white supremacy, the anti-Semitism is severe.
Neil Basu is the former head of UK counter-terrorism police.
From what I've heard from your filming so far is these are people preparing to commit acts of violence.
For years, a key figure at moments of national crisis.
Policing lead for counter-terrorism.
He's now reviewed segments of our footage, and he's concerned.
Some of the stuff they're saying would breach hate crime legislation and public order legislation without a doubt. But they're clearly being coached in how to stay the right side of the law. And of course, it's easy to categorise this is angry young white men on the far right, but the ideology of training for a war is an ideology we've seen in other extremist types.
See it, say it, thought it.
A week after training in Vauxhall, and we're invited to another session near Milton Keynes. We're driven from the station to a village hall a few miles away, and in the car, the group's ambitions become clearer still.
Who's the youngest person that's applied to an active club?
I think it's 16.
In fact, when one of the members posted about the issue of appealing to young people 2 days earlier, the response was as close to a mission statement as we've heard so far. This is what the active clubs are attempting to do, it said. Appeal to the youth with a sense of adventure and edginess.
Who handles the recruit?
Lance actually speaks to me.
Himself?
Copy, Lance. What's your religious beliefs?
In fact, it was Lance who vetted ITV News 2 months earlier. The mysterious leader who conducted a half-hour telephone interview before allowing us to join the group.
What is your ethnic background, exactly? What do you think is wrong with the country? How would you describe your fitness? One of the major issues that England and Europe in general is facing is the mass immigration of hostile, non-white, non-European peoples into our nations.
Back in the car, conversation switches to Southport, seen as a missed opportunity to recruit more members.
With Lance only doing the screenings when Southport kicked off, we didn't get to that.
The infrastructure is getting better, and now people are like contacting and we're turning around with people right around 3 years.
Hello, mate.
We enter the village hall where the training will happen and discover that alongside the London branch, there are members from around the country. And during the training, a familiar voice.
I didn't get your name during the call.
I didn't tell you. I generally don't tell people. So, yeah. How are you finding the sessions in London?
This is Lance, the national leader, coming into view here, putting on his shoes, tying his laces.
Right, guys, before we break, get close to the flag.
Then members pause with the St. George's flag. Look what happens next. A few perform a Nazi salute, what they refer to as a Roman. But then a warning from Lance, keen to draw a line between the group's private persona and public image. Because arms crossed or by their sides, this is what was published on social media a few hours later. The group returns to Vauxhall. Training is intensifying. There are now enough members to fill a basketball court, but they're still masquerading as purely a fitness group. Recruits are checked for hidden cameras. They're all security conscious. New advice tells members to buy a secondary phone to communicate with other members and to start using the messaging app Threema, judged the best platform to keep the phone as separate from your everyday identity as possible.
We go to St. John's.
Afterwards, they head to a cafe. Remember, it's after training where opinions are shared, and they're growing more comfortable around each other.
Blacks and other groups, they more think alike.
Like hive minds, you mean like that?
Whites, we're all
They have a group
conflicting.
identity. It's not happening.
People are more conflicting with each other.
I think white people are more intellectual than...
They make false claims that certain iconic African Americans have white heritage in order to explain their talent.
I think Martin Luther King even more white. I think Malcolm X as well.
Yeah, Malcolm X, all the good ones. Yeah, Malcolm X, all the good ones.
Yeah, exactly. They've all had mixture, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
Beyonce, she's like, she's mixed as well.
Even
Michael Jackson.
They seem at ease, but their suspicion doesn't go away.
For all I know, like you could be an MI6 spy coming in trying to upset the balance.
You could have a bloody undercover camera.
Yeah, so you can't say anything inflammatory.
But they will. Because by the next meeting in Vauxhall, our 5th session, it becomes clear the group is becoming more serious. They've circulated new fitness standards, which new members must meet within 6 months. Failure, it says, will lead to dismissal. They discuss a plan to rent an indoor gym where they'll be able to bring weapons.
I've got about a grand's worth of throwing St. Axes underway, and I've got a bunch of bows and archery bows. Archery is nice. Right, well, that is definitely for when we... Yeah.
Well, that is probably the most disturbing bit of your entire film footage, because that's a person who's clearly arming themselves. Now, they make light of it in the next scene where I think they're talking about, well, archery's good, archery's a good hobby as well, but they are boxing and weightlifting for a reason, to get fit to attack people.
Kneeling down, guys. White power. Go that way.
Over flat whites and cans of Coke, they're trying to build a new model of modern white nationalism.
We're here to defend ourselves when the hits the fan. And after the is over, there's going to be a power vacuum. And someone needs to step up. We're here to take power whenever the opportunity arises.
Support is growing around the country.
The angle is good. Around Liverpool is good.
They're talking about violence by the police against black people.
Who rioted for the human?
One of those got shot.
Yeah. I much more enjoy when they kill each other, because one gets killed, the other gets life. So it's like two birds with one stone.
And if we didn't have black people, we'd be in a better situation without police.
Oh, yeah.
We could just kill them. We'd drive them out ourselves.
They tell extremely offensive jokes, racist and anti-Semitic. We're showing you elements of these exchanges to illustrate the nature of the group's beliefs.
What's the difference between a Jew and a dollar? Come on. Who knows?
Their punchline is a repulsive insult to victims of the Holocaust. They don't hide that they're white supremacists.
In the summer, I need you to bring wood and your white hoods, please.
I'll bring an axe. I'll bring an axe.
An axe, yeah.
If anyone wants to know, this is what we're about. It's Rise Above movement.
Active Club was founded 4 years ago by Robert Rundo, a far-right activist in the US, who fled the country after being accused of rioting.
Kill!
Eventually he was found and arrested in Romania, and for years he's been trying to spread his network elsewhere. But listen to this. It's Rundo in conversation in a podcast with a British man called Alex Davis.
I'm here with Alex Davis. He is one of the founders, co-founders of National Action.
National Action, a white supremacist group which was outlawed in Britain.
So let's have some fun. Come on, fascism equals fun. It gives us a sense of living, a sense of purpose.
My proudest moment was dismantling National Action, persuading a government that they needed to be proscribed after their horrendous belittling of the Jo Cox murder. I mean, she was the very best of us and they were the very worst.
Alex, from ITV, can you tell me about National Action?
6 years ago, we tracked him down in Swansea. In the years since, both he and Rundo have been jailed. But here's a link between the men, between Active Club and Britain's first far-right terrorist network. 1 week before Christmas, members gather again. Not for training this time, because Active Club is a social movement too. Looks like after-work drinks. But there's a new face in the crowd. A flat cap, a sparse beard and easy energy. He's making friends fast and introduces himself simply as Glenn. Already at the head of the pack as they walk towards another pub. Beers, burgers and bigotry are where the night continues. Tongues are loosened, and yet there's still something Glenn is holding back from the group. Because his real name is Jay Barlow, and 2 months before he was first recorded by ITV News, he stood before a magistrate receiving a suspended sentence for possession of a knife and a racist offence against a police officer. So, he joined Active Club while under probation conditions. He discusses firearms with some of the others.
As you see in like France and Germany, it's easy to get things like AKs and like big propaganda.
Yeah, they're on the
here,
black market.
It's hard to get.
You can get hold of them. It's just annoying to get hold of.
A lot of people are 3D printing now.
Yeah.
Right. We've also discovered that back in 2018 he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for trying to stab a man in a supermarket knife attack. And what impact has his sentence had on his behaviour? Well, in the new year, 2 months after he was sentenced, he shared a video with other members of the group.
That's what I thought, you f***ing nerd. Go back to where you come from, you f***head.
Abusing and chasing a young stranger who isn't white.
We locked eyes as I was walking back from the gym, and he made a funny face at me.
Later, he sends voice notes to explain what happened.
I've got an especially short temper for the non-whites. I've got zero tolerance for them.
10 days since he posted the video, he's joined the group's next training session.
I bet an Albanian guy in the face once.
And he's still talking about it.
I couldn't hit the geezer because he was on the main high road.
He's proud, perhaps even energised, retelling the story to members, almost word for word.
He himself, he was like, I was walking, but I had my earphones in, I'm marching in the gym, and we've locked eyes, and as I'm coming out the road, the guys look mad at me, and I did, I thought, I'm taking right, go, come here. He like run over the road, he's cornered himself in like some tower block. I just had it then where I was going, no.
Well, I don't think that people did. I don't like their culture, I don't know where they behave, I don't know where they act. It's not their skin colour, it's them.
It's becoming clear that Glenn is now a significant voice.
The only black I like is chocolate.
We tracked him down.
Glenn?
Away from training.
Glenn? Or is it Jay? Huh? I'm from ITV News. Can you tell me about Active Club England?
I don't know nothing what you're talking about.
It's a group that you joined, the White Supremacist Network.
He reaches for his pocket.
Does your probation officer know? We've got cameras too.
He sends this video to the group.
Tell me, when you said you had no tolerance for non-white people, do you just want to explain what you meant by that?
Stop harassing me.
Let's talk about harassment. Tell me about the guy that you followed down the street the other day. Tell me about your conviction and the sentencing in November. Why the silence? Got a question, Glenn. Sorry, Jay. What's your problem with black people?
He answers with a smile.
Glenn, when's the next training session?
Moments later, he posts on the private Telegram group.
Basically, there's a snitch in this group chat. How the would ITV know my name Glenn and where to find me? So one of yous is a snake.
On Telegram, the group disbands. But its members have now made relationships, so what's not clear is whether the real world version has closed down too.